Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
All right, 1, 2, 3. Hello.
Hey.
Greetings.
Peace.
For another fantastical episode.
We have returned.
I feel like this camera could be better. Or you could be better. Here, get in here. Come here. Come here, little buddy. Come here, little buddy. Block my unmade bed. We gotta get it. We'll eventually have a better background, like to do.
We should never get a better background. It should just always be shitty. We should just look like we live in caves.
Shout out to The Walking Dead. I gave
up on that show, man.
That map to the left is from Metal Gear Solid 5. It's a map of Afghanistan.
Ooh.
And above it is also a different poster map from Metal Gear Solid 5, and it's of Angola, Africa. And it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Got it with the strategy guide for Metal Gear Solid 5. Yep. So anyways.
Why would you even buy strategy guides when IGN exists?
Because I like to have them on my bookshelf. They look nice. They're hardback. I have the Wasteland Survival Guide from Fallout. It looks just like the one in the game. It's over there, actually. It's in that stack. It's in that stack of books.
I've seen it. I think I said the same thing to you previously.
Nostalgia. I like, they're just. It's easy to flip through a book while I'm playing than it is to dick with my phone or dick with my dick. You know what I mean?
I always just went pause, read it real fast. Okay.
Well, that's basically what I do too. But
oh yeah, I do kind of miss the strategy guide days.
I prefer them.
The old rugged paperback.
And then I get to keep them, and they're always there. And if I ever play the game again, I pull them out. I like them. I'm not really into reading. I like reading the news on my phone, but I'm not into reading like stories on my phone.
I can't read books on my phone at all.
And I don't have a tablet or anything like that.
I don't fuck with the tablets either. I do want one of those Surface things. Those Microsoft Surfaces.
Do you see that I got this? You know what it is?
Yeah. It's that fucking thing from Resident Evil.
The liquor.
Yeah.
His tongue got broke. I bought it like this. I bought it at one of the Pittsburgh retro gaming events.
With a broken tongue.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could break a tongue.
Yeah.
And the racist effigy of the Washington.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad that you remembered that I called it this. That's so glad. The racist effigy, and he's black too. That's like the best part. It's like a mixture of everything.
It's like whoa. We're breaking down barriers and holding.
I have this on my desk. No, I'm not a fan of the Redskins. Yes, I think that they should change their name, but I'm gonna keep this anyways. I don't even know what this is from. McDonald's or something.
Yeah. It was in the McDonald's parking lot before we did that show at the vape shop.
Oh yeah! Wow, dude, I have fried my mind. I have like no memory of anything.
I remember all kinds of weird shit.
Unless it made me laugh, I did not because I remember racist effigy. I think about it every time I look at this.
Racist effigy.
I think about it every time I look at this. But yeah, it's a racist effigy. I mean, well, anything else? Anything else? Oh, we got a special guest today. We got on the show today. We got Mo Nade on.
Pittsburgh rapper.
Producer. Fortified Phonetics. He just can't. You want to stop by the show? Surface Level Records captain. Dap him up. What up, boys?
That's kind of what he sounds like in real life.
I was trying to go for a mixture of what he sounds like and what Mo Nadon sounds like in Star Wars, which is just like a random deep.
Yeah, I was gonna say he just like.
Yeah, he just
like
like
an elite. Like an elite.
Kill me. So Mo Nadon, we'll get back to him later, but he's here. He's here. I'm gonna put him down. He's gonna take a seat. He's sitting with the liquor or other guests.
So funny.
That's good. I think we should roll with that. We can have guests, and then we can make little chairs for them. They just sit in the corner.
I always considered getting like that kind of merch. Like I always see the statues at GameStop and on the internet, and I'm always like, man, I would really like to own one of these. 'Cause it's cool.
See, that's funny that you mentioned that. Because I was never into it ever. I thought it looked cool, but I was like, you don't play with these, you just have them. I don't get it. Like, why would you ever want this? And because I had a StarCraft Zealot back in the day, that like a friend, I think a friend gave me or sold me or something.
Dope.
But that was the only one I ever had. And I thought about it. I'm like, but because it was like a little bit fragile, and I ended up breaking it because I was playing with it.
Yeah.
Like the Todd McFarlane toys is what comes to mind.
Oh yeah.
Like all those fucking over the top shits. And so recently, now that I have my own space and I have my own computer and desk and everything, I was like, well, I want to have a bunch of cool shit to put around my area, or like, and I have an office at work, so like I like a cubicle is not an office. And I put little goofy shit around. So I thought I just started picking up things to put on my desk, and that's why I found this. Those retro gaming events, you find so much random toys.
That's a good spot to cop all kinds of weird swag.
Oh, dude, you need to come to one of them.
I do want to go to one.
Leon gets them free.
Oh, there you go. Could be an event. Could be a father-son adventure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how you can train them to be a nerd.
I want to take them to a hockey game too. But I'm gonna milk this whole free child baseball game thing for as long as I possibly can.
Yeah, because then you can have an excuse to take them to one.
Absolutely. Hey, like, we can get good seats, and I can just pay for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
That would be awesome. Oh man, I think kids get in free for hockey until they're like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
That would be cool. But I only go to like one hockey game a year, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Hockey and shit. You have an excuse to go because you're like, I'm gonna take Leon.
I've already planned it. One day I'm gonna take him out of school. Be like, hey, I forgot Leon has a doctor's appointment, and pick him up. I'm gonna have like a jersey and a hat for him, but just be like, here you go, dude. We're going to the baseball game.
That'd be an awesome surprise.
He'd be like, oh.
That'd be an awesome surprise. I wonder what kind of a person he'll be like then.
As long as he's not a serial killer or like something insane like that, I'd be okay with pretty much whatever. Honestly.
What if he was Dennis the Menace?
That's fine. Dennis the Menace was funny. I like that movie.
Well, I mean, like, you know, like
a he was just
troublemaker.
He was just a hoodlum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that could happen.
He'd be fine.
I don't think that could happen with you coming out of you guys.
He'd get the swiftest ass whooping of all time.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
definitely.
Good.
Absolutely.
That's good to know.
Doing that silly shit. Stop it.
So there's been a lot of big things. So we might as well start to move on to our shift gears. First of all, we dropped a song today. We should probably get that out of the way before we forget.
Stilettos. It's
Stilettos.
old.
Don't tell them that.
Oh, it is old though.
Don't. It's supposed to seem like we've been working hard lately. It is brand new. We did it at ID Labs last night.
Shout out Germ.
Germ recorded, mixed, and mastered it 2 years ago.
A young JP and a young Bars Black.
I definitely rap different on that song. You do too.
I was like, it was like, I don't know.
Our deliveries were like completely different. And
I rapped up here. Like I noticed that. Like,
yeah, you were a lot higher.
With my chest and my head.
You were a lot higher.
No, it's way down here in my actual voices. In my fat.
And mine is more nasally and controlled and like. Honestly, on that song, I sound like my regular voice. I sound like I'm rapping with my regular voice more. So.
Yeah, you sound like you sound right now.
Yeah.
Except you're saying, "Go ahead and get that out."
Go ahead and get. I put a little accent on it.
Go ahead and get that out.
Go ahead and get that out. I put a little. Yeah, it's a little too much, honestly. That's the other thing. Is like
hit that bow.
It's a good verse.
Yellow Wolf.
Yeah.
That's what you did. You did both the Yellow Wolf.
Yeah.
Oh, boom.
I think I just listened to Run the Jewels too, so I had like all those flows in my head, like for the first time.
Like an LP flow.
Yeah, those like faster flows on that song or on that album.
I was still listening to Control System. Control System was the one that unlocked.
Did you were you were obsessed with that.
That such a great album.
That shaped you for a long time.
That album was at least in that era in my mind. I think that album was better than Section 80.
Fuck you.
Fuck
you, because Section 80 is still my favorite Kendrick Lamar album.
Section 80 is amazing, Don't get me wrong. Section 80 is also a personal favorite of mine.
It's my favorite. It's definitely my favorite Kendrick Lamar album.
I'm just saying that Absol was better. Absol was also saying shit, and he did it in a way that was abstract and cool, and it was relatable, but it was deep. Like, it was something that anybody could understand, but it was deep enough to make you listen again and figure it out. Like, that's what I really liked about it. Kendrick's was always Kendrick had depth, but Kendrick was also, he still is, he's very just,
yeah.
It's there, you pick it up easy, and you move on. Like, that's what he does. But he does that because his focus is more on the craft, and I'm building an album and all the moving pieces of a song and of an album. And in that regard, he's probably, as far as craftsmanship, he's probably the best. No, he's not the best out, but he's one of the best out. He's definitely like the top 5 out as far as craftsmanship.
Yeah, Kendrick makes a good song. Kendrick knows how to make a good song.
He knows how to make a great album.
Well, yeah, he knows how to do a lot of good things.
He knows how to make a great. He knows how he can.
He knows how to be the
rhymes.
greatest of all time.
He has rhymes. He just doesn't rhyme all the time.
Yeah, because he doesn't need to.
Because he doesn't need to, and he stays relatable.
Yeah, exactly. You got to make
that's
that's something that I think that both of us have learned over the past few years is that you flex your bars to show that you can flex bars, but you don't sacrifice a song to rap 4 bars.
Yeah.
Like, you can't sacrifice making a good song because you want to squeeze in a shitload of multis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's about the balance.
Balance of the force. The light and the dark.
You're supposed to bring balance to the force and destroy the Sith, not join them.
I know. I've been hearing that fucking quote so much since that goddamn movie came out. Just leave it in darkness.
I love that one.
It's a good moment.
You are the chosen one.
As much as everyone acts like they hate those movies because it's cool to hate those movies, that's like such an awesome fucking part.
I hate Jar Jar Binks, and I don't particularly. Well, I don't.
I think the second one's way worse than the first one. The second one's the only thing has a battle to redeem it for fucking in the end.
But that's only like 10 minutes. It's like 10, 15 minutes of the movie.
Oh, all the Jedi
section. Or do you include the whole section of Genosa? Remember, they were in the arena and whatever.
The arena counts, but not the fucking stupid factory shit.
Oh, yeah. Not the factory shit, but the arena. From the arena on was pretty much cool. But then again, that was pretty much the end of the flick. So it wasn't like it was like smack in the middle of the flick.
And the Dooku fight and the Yoda fight, like Yoda, and that is an awesome part. But and I think that's what made me think I liked that movie when I was young. And now, man, it's horrible up until that point.
Me and Carly's cousin talked about it. The thing I like about the old ones is that they really showed that people used to go ham with the Force. Like in the original 3, and even in this one now, they don't really use the Force like how they could.
Well, yeah, and they don't know how.
They jump a little bit, they pull the lightsaber, they mind trick people, but they push people, Vader chokes people.
Yeah.
It was like amazing whenever you see that movie and you don't see the other ones, and Sidious is shooting lightning out of his fingers.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, this dude is the realest of all time.
Yeah.
But in real life, you watch the first 3 movies, and there are dudes that were way iller than him. As far as like fighting and using the Force.
Yeah. I mean, Sidious is probably one of the most powerful.
Oh yeah, he's one of the most powerful, but he's not. He's definitely. His fight was not the most exciting. His fight was.
I recently read a novel, and it's new, so it's in the canon of Star Wars. It's real.
Yeah.
And it was about Darth Vader. It was after Episode 3. And it was like it was shortly after. It was between 3. It was before Star Wars Rebels, though.
Yeah.
So it's closer to after the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Or after, yeah. And so Vader and Sidious and Palpatine are on a Star Destroyer around the Twi'lek planet. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah. And
these terrorists, they're considered the first rebels, were Twi'leks, I guess. And they terrorists bombed the Star Destroyer. It crashed into the planet, and Vader and Palpatine are by themselves with like a few royal guard like the red royal guards.
Yeah.
And they have to like survive on the planet, and like the terrorists are like trying to kill them the entire time, and Vader, and they're both such fucking badasses because no one's there they don't have a legion of stormtroopers to protect them, so they actually have to try. And like I mean, you're reading it, so I don't get to see it, but the way they're described, like there's a moment where Vader is piloting his V-wing because it's before the TIE fighters were made.
Yeah. And
there's a fleet of the fucking vulture droids. I don't remember what movie they're from, but the droid plane, the droid spacecraft.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of different kinds of those, and he just fucking wipes them all out with like. And then there's this like cargo ship with Twi'leks are like trying to blow him up, and he just looks at them and through space fucking breaks the motherfucker's neck. Like it was just so badass. This book is so good because of what Vader does.
That is the cool shit that I'm talking about in those moments.
And I guess the argument is that only. I guess the one thing that doesn't make sense is when Obi-Wan and Vader fight because it's boring, or it's not boring, but it's like old style knight fighting.
Yeah.
But because Vader and Sidious are never really have to use their best shit until the very end, and even then, at that point, Luke's fucking doing backflips and doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
Luke's a badass in Return of the Jedi.
But that was like that was the only one of the original 3 movies where dudes were like Force ninjas. Like, and that's what I want to see out of these new Star Wars movies. Like, now that this first one is out of the way, I want to see people be Force ninjas.
Yeah, it'll come back.
I want to see you mix like the whole using it for like the deception and the espionage, but I want to see people fight. Mm-hmm. I don't want to just see you chase each other around the forest and.
I think I like both though.
It was boring.
See, I like. There's something that looked cool about I really did enjoy the saber battle in Force Awakens.
No, I liked it.
I really did.
It had its own flair to it. But what I mean is like, whenever Rey runs up onto the cliff and runs away, why don't you just use the Force and jump onto the cliff, Kylo Ren? Why do you have to go all around and all that extra shit?
Yeah, Kylo Ren seemed to not be nearly as strong as it seemed like he was trying to be in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like in the
Kylo
beginning
Ren,
of the movie, you stop a blaster bolt in midair.
See that? You're right. You're right.
Amazing.
That was strange. How can you stop a bullet, or blaster bolt, and you can't fucking do those other things?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I remember seeing that and just going, wow. Like, this dude is no joke. And then further down the movie, like, you're just a scrub. This girl just figures out she can use the Force 2 seconds into you interrogating her, and she can resist you. You've been training in the Force for years. How, Sway?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It just does not make sense.
You're right.
At all. I just hope that they have space ninjas, space ninja spies, space samurai spies, space samurai
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Do you want ninjas or do you want samurai?
I just want them to fight and use the Force to their fullest potential. I don't care either way.
Because there's an argument that says that the prequels were like they went too far with what you could do with the Force.
I disagree. They didn't go far enough.
See, what do you want? The Force Unleashed?
Yes.
You want fuckers taking TIE fighters out and Star Destroyers out of the space?
I want to see people pulling Star Destroyers out of space, stopping them right in front of them. I want to see somebody some ancient Sith that's so powerful. A sun's about to explode, and he just goes like this and puts it back together, and it doesn't explode. That's what I want to see.
They do say that, well, that's why it's called The Force Awakens, is because the Force is truly awakened, and that they're going to be super powerful now.
I hope so. I want to see that shit.
That's the theory out there that I've heard.
I think it adds to the fantasy aspect of it. Like, why is it any different than seeing in Dragon Ball Z when we go from saga to saga and Goku goes from being Super Saiyan 1 to being able to go Super Saiyan 2? It's not any different.
Yeah.
Why can't we see people go from doing this all the time to use the Force to doing backflips and front flips and all kinds of crazy lightsaber styles of fighting to people doing insane stuff?
Well, yeah, I think that's the progression. I think that is the progression.
It's the natural progression of it. And if people don't like it, well, then you're probably old.
Yeah.
You're probably old.
We're getting old, man. I feel like I'm old. I feel like I consider myself old.
I feel like I'm 10 years older than I actually am.
Well, because you're a dad, so that olds you.
It olded me real hard.
It olded you so hard.
I gained so much weight from eating gyros all the time. Whenever she was pregnant, it was bad.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you did. You lost weight since you were at your pot belliest. You just had a little pot belly. You like had nothing else changed, like in your arms or face or anything.
My stomach.
You just had a little pot belly.
I was like, hey guys. My mom said that too. I'm glad you said it. It confirms me. My mom said that too. That I was slimming down.
Yeah.
I'm trying real hard.
Well, yeah. I know. You don't, because it was like noticeably pot belly before. Now it's. I don't know.
You're like, I know. One day you came over my house and you're like, holy shit, are you the one that's pregnant? I was like, oh man.
Oh man, that's so mean.
You did say that shit.
And that was when I just lost so much weight.
Yeah,
and now
you were like wearing like a 36.
Oh no, I was wearing a 34. These are 34s, but they're fucking gonna peel off of me right now. I can't breathe. But yeah, I've gained a good 20, 25 pounds since I lost all that weight. So I'm like chubby, but I'm not big. I'm not huge anymore.
I gained like 20 pounds while she was pregnant, maybe more. Because I was so I wasn't doing anything because I was trying to like settle in to really being a hermit.
Yeah.
And so like I wasn't really doing anything. And then there was that point where I had where I didn't work at Leeds anymore. I didn't work at Chili's anymore either. So there was that period whenever I was looking,
you're looking for jobs.
I was sitting at home all day applying for jobs and eating gyros because I just got like all the money I would have for like 2 months. I don't know how I did it. It was amazing.
Yeah, you're a gyro fiend. But all right, we should probably move along. We're almost halfway done, and we didn't talk about TLOP.
We didn't say anything.
I know. That's what happens. That's what happens, man. It used to happen on the Pit Bros as well. So let's talk about, and I'll probably what I'll do, if we're gonna do this, is we'll make a separate. I'll put the podcast out first, and then I'll do just TLOP review, and then I'll do just Deadpool.
I watched a thing where the Brilliant Idiots, Charlemagne and that Andrew dude, that we're on Geico. They do a podcast, and they do a thing where they put the full video out of the podcast if you want to watch it. Then they put the individual segments out in video, and then they release the full thing on audio for streaming. So like if you're in the car, you can play it, or if you want to just see like their opinion on TLOP, for example.
Yeah,
you can just go, how do they feel about it? If you don't feel like sitting through an hour waiting for that one section.
Yeah, that's how IGN does it too. IGN, they put first they show you the little segments, and then they put out the whole thing. I think when it's all said all said and done. And there's obviously like parts that they never released in that version.
Yeah.
So they put I think that's what we'll do, is we'll release the little videos. But anyways, Life of Pablo.
The Life of Pablo.
By Kanye West.
Le Kanye West.
And if anyone knows anything about us,
anything. If you don't know nothing else about anything,
you know that we love Kanye West.
Praise Jesus.
Because he, one, has not made a bad album.
Ever.
Not counting Watch the Throne.
None. Zero.
And Cruel Summer's pretty damn good, too.
Try me. Try me, bro.
Yeah, dude. He's the best to ever do it. And
I don't know about the GOAT.
No,
as far as being an overall creator,
I'm not saying the best to ever do it, but he is a great of all time.
He's one of the greatest he's one of the greatest people in music, hands down. Period.
I feel like we should preface this and think about how many artists can you think of besides Kanye that have 7 great albums in a row.
Jay-Z. Well, no, Jay-Z.
In a row?
No, he doesn't have 7 great in a row. Well,
in a row?
Maybe.
No. The answer is no, Joel. The answer is no. No, he does fucking not. Because you know why? There's an album called La Rock Familia. And that soils it.
Oh man, yeah. I guess don't fall.
I'm gonna turn off the fan.
Yeah, I guess you have a point there. Hang on, I have to.
Sorry about the fan.
I'm intrigued now. We have to look at this.
No, you're gonna take away from the show, because let's just. Well, I mean, if you want to, I don't care. Do whatever you want.
No, go ahead.
Do whatever you want. But I am going to say, I mean, you got the Beatles, you got David Bowie. They have 7 albums in a row. They have more. David Bowie has more than 7 albums in a row. He's got like 8 or 9 good ones in a row. He might have 10 or 11. I don't remember, because I just went through them.
He has a lot
in a row.
There's a lot of those rock cats though that have like buku albums.
Because they've been around for, just like Jay-Z, they've been around for decades. They've been around forever. The Beatles, you have the Beatles, Bowie. The Bruce Springsteen, people argue that he has a really good 7 album run. There's Tom Waits and stuff like that. There's people that have great runs, but there's less than like 15.
Yeah, Jay-Z has like 4 in a row right now. I think Black Album, Kingdom Come wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
No, Kingdom Come is one of his worst albums. Kingdom Come is considered his one of his worst ones.
I don't hate it though. It's not by Jay-Z standards. It's bad.
I don't hate Show Me What You Got, but I don't remember what else is on that album.
Yeah, good point. Curtain Call, but that's like Curtain Call for Eminem. Curtain Call was like Eminem's Kingdom Come.
Yeah,
his worst album.
It sucked.
It was funny.
Yeah, Eminem only has 3 good albums.
You really think he has 3?
Yes, they're the first 3.
You really think so?
I think that I don't like anything he's made since the Eminem show.
I wouldn't say all that. Recovery wasn't.
I'm not into Relapse and Recovery, dude. I'm not into them. Bad. I don't like those flows. He's good. I'm not saying he's still not technically.
No. I completely understand.
But I'm talking about like as a piece of music, as a piece of an album that I want to go and listen to. I do not want to listen to those albums.
Sean won't like that.
Who?
Sean Pryor, the dude from Pirate Gang. He's an Eminem stan. I say it all the time.
Well, because Eminem's one of the greatest.
He's probably one of the best he's still the best technical rapper like ever. But he is right now, the whole bodies of work he puts out right now, by his standards, and he's supposed to be one of the gods. Nah, it's not. Average.
Yeah, he
Eminem show was his prime.
Lyrically, technically, he's one of the best ever.
Yeah, technically,
that have made it on a mainstream level.
I'm just saying the music that he's put out since he's come back from after the music
since Eminem show.
Yeah.
Since Eminem show.
The music since Eminem show is all kind of,
because that's when he started using the accents, and then he stopped doing that, and then he started doing all the weird flows and the yelling and that shit. I was always yelling. I understand you need to grow up as an artist, and so he had to like not be as vulgar and as silly and blah blah blah. But it was some of that was like made his charm. That was what made him unique, because he was able to do that and still be like fucking do lyrical backflips over people.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why Eminem shows his prime. I think that was the time whenever he really did that. He like in spades, like he just had it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Eminem.
He was in his bag. The ball was in his court, and he was just crossing everybody over.
I think Marshall Mathers LP is his best one overall, like as a piece of music. But I think the Eminem show is like his rapping prime, probably.
That's the best Eminem we ever got.
That was like when he was already being considered as a great.
Eminem show Eminem was whenever we got him at his absolute prime.
But all right, we're not talking about Eminem.
Yeah, moving on.
We're trying to think about people that have 7 good albums in a row, and Legends. It's very few.
It's only Legends.
It's not even it's Legends as in greatest to ever do it.
Yeah, like the best musicians ever.
I mean, obviously there's people like Nirvana and Jimi Hendrix and people that die, like The Doors. Like there's so many people that are great and you don't know what they could have done, but there's a lot of bands that made like 3 great albums and then they suck dick forever.
Well, I mean, like there are plenty of times there's an example like Lauryn Hill. We only got 1 album from her, but we know that it was awesome.
Well, yeah, that's a great example. That's a great example.
There's like, what are you supposed to? Sure, could she have done more? Possibly. Will we ever know? Probably not. So this is what we have. we have this one album, we have the Fugees, we have some features and stuff. Let's judge what we have and see where she ranks.
I would think the ones that came to mind for me were Smashing Pumpkins.
Smashing Pumpkins is a good one
because there's 2 in a row that are really good, and then the first one's fantastic, and then everything else they fall apart because of whatever, drugs and fighting with each other. Oasis is another one, 2 fantastic albums, and then they fight with each other and drugs, and that's it. So yeah, it's a very short list, and. He did it again. I'm not even gonna act like he didn't do it again because he did it again. And I was worried because of how this was so last minute. And the thing that was the first thing that I noticed, that the biggest difference between this, Yeezus, I didn't like at first. I didn't appreciate it because of how much I loved Dark Fantasy, and this was like a 180 from that. It was completely fucking different. And Yeezus was all over the place. But I grew to love it over time. I grew to appreciate it as my tastes changed and I grew up a little bit and I was listening to different stuff. I loved it. Now Yeezus I consider definitely a great of music. But this one was instantly accessible. Beautiful from the start.
I agree. I loved it. I was weird about it at first, but then I really took some time to like take some listens to it and like absorb it. And I'm like throw the headphones on and really listen to it like at night after Leon goes to bed. And there's only like one song I don't like. There's only one song I don't like, and the other parts of it I just thought of it as we have to look at the moving pieces of the album. Like let's not just focus on his lyrics. Let's not just focus on the beat. Let's focus on those and how
the whole thing.
Yeah, you have to focus on the whole shebang. You have to how he pieced it together.
Mm-hmm.
Because with the way that it was, and like we had Facts, and then we got Real Friends and No More Parties in LA, and some of the whatever, some of the songs we heard from the fashion show. And I don't know. Sometimes you have to just wait and see what we actually get first before we make full judgment and let it marinate.
Yeah.
I think it's a great album. It's definitely, in my opinion, it's better than Yeezus. I didn't really care. I didn't hate Yeezus. I just didn't fall in love with it super, super hard like other people did.
I think you need to go back to it, dude.
I'll read.
I think you need to just have one day and you just listen to it front to back again, because that's what I did. I waited, like I didn't listen to it for like other than like Bound. I didn't listen to anything from like a year after it, or 2 years maybe. And then I put it on one day because I remembered how much I loved Dark Fantasy and Watch the Throne, and obviously the ones before that are great. And I put it on. I was like, you know what? This is just as fucking good. It's the same. He's rapping basically the same, and the beats are just different. And then I was like, already, and then I was aware of people like Death Grips by then, so I was like, well, I see what he's doing, and I was into it was like industrial hip hop. And just trying to be more creative. Like Bound, I remember when I first heard Bound, I was like, what the fuck is this beat? It's not a beat, it's just this vocal sample that replays over and over again in a weird, like it's a weird length of a sample, and it just, and I'd hated it, and the video was weird, and like obviously like the video gets hate and whatever, and then I was like, you know what, I love this fucking song. And I play Bound all the time. Bound is like one of my favorite Kanye songs, because of the way it sounds.
I just didn't care for that.
I think you gotta go back, man.
I'll re-examine it.
I think you need to go back.
It'll get re-examined. I might.
Because now, now, and you've listened to a lot more shit in the past couple years since Yeezus came out. You've at least since we've been doing Raw, you've been exposed to a lot of different stuff and. I'm
trying to mix in other things.
Yeah, you don't listen to just rap.
I listen to a lot of jazz. Though.
Dude, I listen to that Kamasi Washington jazz album. Do you know who that guy is?
No.
Needle Drop recommended it, and it is. If you like jazz, I highly recommend it, dude. I just put it on while I was cleaning one day, and it is fantastic.
That's what I started doing. I just started throwing jazz on the speakers and just letting it play. I'll sit there in bed and I'll just listen to it. I'll just throw my headphones on and listen to it and flip through my phone and just relax.
I started doing, like Brian Eno. He's like he was a producer. He worked with Talking Heads and Devo and a bunch of 80s stuff, and he's one of the guys who made like synth and electronics popular, and like synth work more widespread in music and stuff. And he has a lot of these albums. They're called like, it's called like ambient music or discrete music.
Yeah.
And there's one called like music for airports, and one's called like music for movies, and one's called whatever. And they're just very like soft. It's like not elevator music like cheesy, but it's like very soft.
Just
music.
Really soft mellow.
Yeah, it's really.
I can dig
it's
it.
very subtle sounds, but it's music. It's chords and whatever, but it's very quiet and easy and soft and slow.
I'll have to look for it.
Yeah, dude. I put it on and I like want to go to sleep, or if I want to relax, or I put it on every night. It's like Bob Ross to me.
Music game Bob Ross.
Yeah, for real. It's very calming. But TLOP is great. I like every fucking song except Highlights is mediocre, but everything's good. I like Fade a lot. And I don't know why. I'll see people get thrown shade at Fade, but no.
I would take a look at the playlist just so I can really think about it.
Ultralight Beams is great.
I
love Father Stretch My Hands. Kid Cudi's hook is killer. I like Famous, obviously. The Taylor Swift line doesn't bother me because I don't think that he made her famous, and I don't necessarily think he thinks he made her famous. I just think he wanted to say something crazy.
I think he wanted to say something crazy. I agree with that, but I think that him doing what he did might have accelerated her fame in a mainstream space. Because like she was more she was in the mainstream. I feel like she was more country.
She had a number one album, and she was her first album was country. Her second album was not, and her second album came out that year, which she won Album of the Year for. She won Album of the Year that year at the Grammys, I believe. And she she was number one in the world, like across the board. Like someone argued with me about this. That's why I know all this. They argued with me about this recently. So I was just like, fuck it. I'm going to shut you down, because even though I'm a Kanye stan, I know this not to be true, because she was huge already at that time. Like she was it's not like Meghan Trainor. Like it wasn't like some bitch had one. Oh man, this is so misogynist. So it's not like this bitch just had like one or two hit songs and that was it. Like it was not the same as that. She was huge. Girls everywhere knew all of her songs.
I thought of it as whenever I witnessed it, it made me really take a second and go, is she really that whack? And then actually go and like search her. Like that made me listen to Taylor Swift.
Yeah, but you're not, because you know why because you're not a girl. You're not a 14-year-old girl.
Touche.
That's why. Like that I feel like people, like men, discount that the largest demographic that listens and buys music is white girls.
Teenage white girls.
Yes, teenage white girls.
And that's fact.
That's just statistics.
That is a literal fact that you can Google. We're not even just saying that. We're not trying to be any sort of whatever.
Because older people will pirate it, or they'll do whatever.
Us and us 20-somethings in like the maybe like 40s probably pirate.
Or now Spotify now. Because there's a lot of people don't pirate now that there's no need to when you have Spotify.
I have Spotify, and I still pirate. I still pirate some stuff. There's some things that I will. Not everything though. I'm still kind of a CD head. I'll buy albums and burn them and shit. A little bit. But it is nice having Spotify. It saves a lot of time.
Yeah, I just started fucking with streaming stuff, and it is nice to just put in whatever the fuck I want and it comes up. It's nice to like have like a jukebox in my phone.
I like it for the car. I like just throwing on my aux cord and just be.
It's good in the car. Well, now that I know that, I can use it on my computer, which I'm like, when I'm in here, that's what I'll use, and because I don't have to switch over to my phone or. Yeah, it's nice. It's convenient. But yeah, TLOP's good. I feel like we didn't really talk about it. We just started talking about it, and then we kept.
It inspired us to talk about other music.
Yeah, I did.
Maybe that's a perfect way to describe the power of this album.
It's I would say it's an easy listen. It's very easy listen. Very easy listen. Not that it's not hard. It's just an easy listen. I feel like when he said it was a gospel album, I mean...
a gospel album with a whole lot of cussing.
There's a lot of... You can see the influence. I mean, not even just on Ultralight Beams. Just the... Do you think that there's some cues taken from Kendrick at all? Like the structure? That's what I always wondered. That was one thing I noted. That the way that the album was... Like, there were songs that abruptly shifted and stuff like that. But it wasn't quite as often. But, I
don't think he was trying to...
No, I don't think he was biting or anything. I just think that maybe To Pimp a Butterfly had some kind of impression on him.
They did tour together.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, he said he has 40 songs with them. So if they were in the studio together and they went that deep with it, and they toured together, then there's definitely the chance that one could have absorbed some things from the other one. Like, but stuff like that, I think this happens naturally. Sometimes I don't think people intend to to bite.
No, I don't think that.
I think it's if you spend enough time with somebody that does the same craft as you, you just pick things up on each other.
Well, yeah, I think you get, when you are a fan of something, you get inspired by it, and then you take things that you liked from that. If you're a this is what I do. I understand because this is what I do. I listen to music all the fucking time. If I hear something I like, I want to take that I take those things that I like and I try to find a way to incorporate them into what I do and make it my own, but not do what they do, just use a piece of that and use that piece and add it to my bigger machine. And my machine is a mix of all different pieces.
That's what I do too. I take things and they just get absorbed, and they get absorbed and personalized. That's a good way to put it. They get absorbed and personalized. I can't because it's impossible. Like, it's just literally impossible. Because if you just do it by yourself, like, I can't imagine somebody that's like a legend that literally just does it, where they're just by themselves all the time. They don't go outside, nothing. It just pours to them.
Yeah, people like that. There's no way. Like, you gotta be influenced by your surroundings.
You have to go outside. You have to do something.
I mean, that's even completing something and making something completely different. I think that it starts from something grounded somewhere, like it's something normal, or like it's something that you evolve yourself over time. But like, everyone that's ever made something different has all started from a place that was familiar. Like David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust was different because he dressed all androgynous and he sang songs about being an alien, but the music itself sounded like just regular blues rock at the time. Like, it did, the music itself didn't sound crazy, but he added the one little wrinkle and changed it. But then, as albums kept coming, he grew into his own and started just doing whatever the fuck he wanted to do. And then he made shit that was completely different. But his album that we listed, The Young Americans, is a soul. It's very soul and funk and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was.
And but then the albums after that is when he starts to start experimenting. I don't know. It's interesting.
It is very interesting.
Everyone starts, I think, has to start in a place of familiarity.
You know what I was thinking about at work today?
What?
There's a lot of people that give knock to Linkin Park, but whenever I really think about it, from the first time I listened to Hybrid Theory, going up through even to now, a lot of their music has kind of like grown up with the audience. Like, they went from being like really angry to being like, really angry to being like really sad and confused, kind of musically.
Yeah.
To being more focused, and serious, and then being more expressive.
Yeah.
Kind of just, I don't know. Like, it's kind of weird like that if you really think about it. Like, their music literally grew with their audience, whether you like it or not. It did. Whenever you really, really take the time to think about it. I don't like everything that they did. I don't like everything that they did.
I really hate the most recent album, the Hunting Party or whatever. I hate it.
Yeah, I got it for the freever from some girl I used to work with.
She was
bad. Like, "Do you want this?" I don't like it. I was like, "Sure, it's Linkin Park. I love Linkin Park." And I listened to it and I was like, "Okay, this is beatnik. Outside from the Rakim verse.
Yeah, the Rakim song was cool. That whole song was pretty cool. I think that song was cool.
I don't hate it. I like that song. I don't care for the album.
The album sucked dick.
I probably listened to it once or twice. I probably gave it 2 or 3 listens realistically, just to really absorb it before I just like windowed it. And I was just like, yeah, I can't.
See, I like their first 4 albums, I would say. And the 5th one's iffy.
My favorite one is Revolutions. It's my favorite Linkin Park album.
I don't know what album is that.
It came after Hybrid Theory. It was like an underground thing.
You mean Reanimation?
Yeah, my bad. I said
Reanimation. Reanimation is my favorite too. Reanimation was the most. One day, people will fucking remember that album changed the fucking game musically because of the mixture of industrial, rock, metal, hip hop, electronic. It had every fucking genre on that album, and it worked, and it was cohesive sound. It was one sound. It's not like every song sounded different. It was one fucking sound that implemented everything.
I love the Crawling remix.
Yeah, that's got the guy from Stain singing on it.
Yeah.
I like Forgotten with Charlie Tuna. I like fucking there's so many like dudes that were like I didn't know who they were at the time, and now I'm like, oh my god, Pharaoh Monch.
The Place for My Head.
Pharaoh Monch was on fucking Reanimation, and Charlie Tuna from Jurassic 5, and Black Thought is on it.
All kinds of dope ass rappers.
That's crazy. It's crazy. And then you got Jonathan Davis from Korn and Aaron Lewis from Stained, and
that album probably in a lot of ways had a heavy influence on a lot of people in our gen. I know, thinking about it, it really does.
I remember a lot of people hating it when it was new because it didn't sound like
Hybrid Theory. That's why.
It vaguely did, but it wasn't like as rock. It was more not rock. So I think people didn't know what to think of it. And I think the first Gorillaz album was around the same time as that album. I think
these weird hybrid.
I think they're like a 2000 or 01, both of those albums. And yeah, and I was listening about Linkin Park and Gorillaz at the same time, which is probably why I'm into both so much. It's just, I don't know. All right, we're way over. So we gotta stop. We're at 47 minutes.
Oh man.
So say goodbye. We'll be more time next week.
Peace.
Make sure you like and subscribe. We got a new
listen to Stilettos.
Yeah, Stilettos is on SoundCloud.com/Spitzkrieg. I'll try to remember to put a link somewhere.
Put it on there. Put it on, Big L.
Right here. That would be cool if I did that.
Yeah, you should just.
We're here.
You should put the link in all these places where our hands are.
Now you're too much work now. If we don't, or I won't ever do it. All right. Well, like, subscribe, tell everyone that you love us. Shit. Good night.
Peace.
Dad, did you sneeze, Dab?
Yeah.